Wake up! It's the first of the month. Welcome Midwestern Slope. I'm Dalen Brazelton. Let's talk about your weather. Folks, it's going to be a lovely one for today as we kick off spooky season. Looking behind me on America's Mattress Live Tower Cam, we're seeing that sun start to rise. However, it won't officially be risen for about another hour here on the Western Slope. We're expecting mostly sunny conditions with just the slightest amount of cloud coverage for those morning hours before things stay nice and clear for the afternoon. Meanwhile, a change in the weather could be expected for the weekend with some rain pushing in for Saturday. Now, of course, with it being a new season, can you believe fall started just 9 days ago? Well, if we take a look at last week's sunrises, that was about 7:04 a.m. we were seeing it rise and then setting at 7:07. Today, we're seeing it rise closer to 7:10, and with it firmly now in that 6 o'clock hour for sun's setting. And then next week, well, we're starting to gain a little bit of darkness every single day up until that point. And of course, as the season continues on, up till the winter solstice, it's going to continue to get a little bit less daylight in. We're waking up right now to those mid-50s in Grand Junction and Paonia. Meanwhile, Delta and Nucla in those low 50s alongside Moab, Montrose, and Glade Park seeing those 40s at this point in time. However, relatively consistent start to the day. Not too much of a difference as far as temperature is concerned. For that classroom forecast, that first bell's ringing to 53 degrees and mostly sunny skies. Like I mentioned, a little bit of cloud coverage for the morning, but it's going to be very minimal. And then by the afternoon, that's expected to dissipate here. Upper 70s expected for those after-school activities, and things shaping up to be a little bit on the warm side. We're seeing slightly above average temperatures, approaching 80 degrees for the afternoon, but it's going to be a nice gradual increase up to that point, and then that sunshine continuing on for the rest of the day after the morning hours here. The morning itself, though, shaping up to be nice with those mid-50s turning into 60s by about 8, 9 a.m., we'd say, and then from there, we're kind of off to the races. Now, this is kind of interesting. For most of the central United States, we're seeing slightly above average temperatures today. Meanwhile, low pressure to the west, that's starting to build in the form of storms, and that's creating slightly below average temperatures. But right here in the middle, the Western Slope, not affected by either. We're kind of in that Goldilocks zone. Of course, Grand Junction gets about 300 days of sunshine, and today is going to be no different. It's going to be a great one to take your dog out for a walk. We got Bonnie hanging out with us all week long for that dog walking forecast, and things are shaping up to be a lovely day. Low 50s at 8 a.m., turning into mid-60s by 10 o'clock, and then noon ushers in low 70s. Mostly clear conditions all day long, and just enough of a breeze to keep things interesting, hanging out pretty firmly in those single digits. It's nothing compared to yesterday's 25-mile-an-hour wind gusts around the region. And with it now being fully fall, folks, that fall foliage is, well, falling across the Grand Valley. We're seeing more and more areas changing colors within this region, and it's shaping up to be beautiful. However, the mesa is still gorgeous, so if you have not been able to go up yet and take a look at those aspens, well, let me tell you, you are missing out. And then meanwhile, that storm that's been tracking to the north, as we head throughout the week, that's going to slowly start dipping further and further in towards the Great Basin. And then eventually, as we head into this weekend, well, that rain potential is going to start to kind of shift into the region and kind of drop off closer to the Western Slope and the Four Corners. As we take a look ahead, though, at that Discovery Auto Group 7-day forecast, upper 70s turn into mid-80s for tomorrow. So stark increase in temperature, and then between Friday and Saturday, a stark decrease in temperature. 60% chance of showers for 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, I should say. Same goes for Montrose with the 70s and 80s turning into mid-60s. Folks, it's a very interesting start of the month.